I grew up on the city's southwest side, specifically in West Lawn, just a little bit past Midway, on the Chicago south side. So when I was about 3 years old, 4 years old, my mom actually signed me and my cousin up for a local park district league. We played soccer at Market Park, which was about 5 minutes from where I grew up. And we spent countless summers playing there, training, competing, and that's kind of where I fell in love with the sport. I made tons of friends, met lots of coaches, and I had really great mentors, and I think that's where my passion and love for the sport began. Soccer's always been a big part of my life. Ever since I can remember, I've had a ball at my feet, playing it since the age of 3, 4 years old with my cousin in the backyard. And then once we got a little bit older, we were able to start playing in an organized league. But when I really began to realize that, it was going to be a little bit more than just a recreational sport for me, I would say is around my years in college, when I started coaching actually youth clubs.
My first impression of Coach Alex goes way back. I knew him before PSG, and we met in the field. He used to play for Benedictine Academy, Benedictine University, and I would play for Marian. My first impression of him was, that's a tough person to get through.
I think I was a person arriving at PSG Academy Chicago for the first time that maybe thought he knew everything that there was to know. But I quickly learned that there's so much to learn and so much room for me to grow. I think that's one of the wonderful things about being at PSG Academy Chicago is that there's so much room for growth and there's so much to learn. Not only from the other coaches and the staff and the leadership team here at PSG Academy, but also from the players and the families.
I think Alex does exceptionally well in translating his calm, his composure to the kids, and his intelligence on the field.
But I think one of the biggest things that I've learned that PSG has brought to me is the fact that commitment, dedication, and preparation can take you many different places. It can take you a long way. So many doors have opened for me being here at PSG Academy Chicago that honestly I would have never thought could have been a possibility.
As a coach, Alex is the best at understanding his players. I've seen so many games to where he's always challenging their players to do something different, where players enrich their knowledge, their level, and bring it to an amazing performance from everybody.
Before PSG, I would describe myself as someone that was not maybe nonchalant, but I kind of went with the flow with a lot of different things. Whatever scenarios or circumstances I found myself in, I kind of went with the flow. I was able to figure things out and get things done at my pace. And now being at PSG Academy Chicago, I think I've learned to be a bit more focused on whatever task is at hand. That comes with being a bit more prepared, being detail-oriented, and overall consistency.
He's always encouraging players, putting every player to the limit, bringing so much experience to the table, professionalism at all times.
I think another thing that I've been able to grow in as well in the aspect of just being a professional in everything that I do, whether that's coaching, whether that's preparation, whether that's on the field, off the field, behind the scenes work. I think just approaching everything with a professional mindset is something that I can give credit to PSG Academy Chicago for growing in me and instilling in me.
Something I extremely learned from Coach Alex is just to stay composed throughout the whole match, throughout any situation. Right? He's a person that gives their all, but stays focused on the task.
We have the best staff here at PSG Academy Chicago. Our coaches are always ready to do whatever it takes to get our players to the next level, to develop them correctly. But aside from that, just to collaborate with one another. They're very open to different ideas, to different concepts, to working through the PSG methodology. We have tremendous coaches who come from different backgrounds. And I think ultimately that has allowed us to progress and to excel as a staff, but also as coaches as well.
Coach Alex is a person that, as we like to say, dives in head first. He's a committed person, right? Once he sets his mind to a goal, it's very hard to stop him. So he's a very determined personality that he has.
I learn all the time from the players, right? You would think that it would be the coach, right, who's teaching and doing, giving most of the lessons on the field. But I can tell you, as a coach for over 7-8 years, you learn so much from the players. And I think one of the biggest things that I've been able to learn from players that I've coached in the past is just having patience and being open-minded. I think especially at the age that we coach our players at, sometimes it can be tricky to give directions or to have them play in a certain position that they're not comfortable with. But luckily, most of the players that I've been fortunate enough to coach have always been open-minded and always willing to take on challenges. And I think that is kind of translated into the way I approach things as well. Is just to keep an open mind and be ready for whatever challenges are presented.